Oh, yeah, it's a sweet, sweet sound of another episode of the Social Distance Drinking Club. Guys, it's Booze News tonight. Guys, I don't know why I turned into Christopher Walken right now, but guys, it's not my Boston accent. No, it's not my Boston accent. Don't do that. Don't insult me. That's not fair. Guys, thanks for joining us.
Inside jokes at the beginning of the show.
I know, right? The Boston accent. The Boston accent. Thanks for joining us.
It was Christopher Walken doing a Boston accent.
Ping pong, sudden death. What part of sudden death? Didn't you understand?
Somehow that was both a better Walken and better Boston accent than I'm used to hearing from you.
Hey, thank you. I've been working really, really hard on that. And it means a lot that you found that to be better. So Christopher Walken would be impressed. Let's get him on the show, and then I can get some more validation on my accent. Guys, thanks for joining us. Tell us what you're drinking in the comments. It's Booze News tonight. We've got a special guest. We've got Rebecca from LOVECRAFT joining us. If you're not familiar with LOVECRAFT, you're going to find out all about them in a little bit. And some of the great stuff that they're up to right now. There's some updates coming up. New menu, all sorts of stuff. But tell us what you're drinking in the comments. We're going to tell you guys what we've got in our hands, starting with Mr. Adam Green.
Yeah, I decided to go with a new one. Weekend homework from Rent House. Just picked it up today, and it's very tasty.
Hey, I need to know something. Is Rent House paying you and not us as a collective group? Because we're drinking a lot of Rent House.
I'm pretty confident I've been paying them.
Yes.
It's for the right to be on this show. So it's one of those reverse sponsorships, I think.
Brett Berry, what do you have in your glass, sir?
I have a lovely delivery from Mr. Adam Green, a double dry hop United from Pure Project.
Oh, baby. That can was almost America. There was some red. There was some white.
Well, it has all of America.
It's actually just a French flag. So it's a French beer. Hey, I'm doing red, white, and blue, too. Shout out to Michelob Ultra. I needed to hydrate. Guys. I'm sorry. If you think it's not beer, that's your problem, not mine.
It's not truly.
No, it's not a truly. It is not a truly. Thank you for joining us. It looks like, how do I say it? Marilu was drinking a Belching Beaver Phantom Bride.
That's a good beer.
Let's see. PJ's drinking some Oberon. Yeah, man. That's a solid choice. Feeling a little Michigan. Well, we had that happen when Akil was here, and it turned into an argument over Go Blue, and it's too much. It's too much.
Oh, an LOH and Go Blue type of thing. And
Hey, Chris McBeth, thanks for joining us again on the show. He's drinking Nikka Coffee Gin, which is delicious Japanese gin. And I think on our show last week, Matt James may have suggested it, so you got a hold of it. Awesome. Schweppes Sugar-Free Tonic is delicious as well. Housemate Jambalaya, send me a photo. I'll put it on the show. We can show everybody your jambalaya and gin and tonic pairing. Sam Frazier hanging out with us, having a Grand Avenue Common. Everybody, crack open a drink. Tell us what you've got in your hands. Throw it into the comments. We are excited to be sharing a beverage with you, and thank you for joining us. Gentlemen, this it's only been like, what, a whole 48 hours since we've done a show, but so much has happened.
such is life in 2020.
I know, right? It's I wake up
like a month.
I wake up in the morning, I look at the news, and then I get lost. I'm just like, where did I end up? I was playing Jackbox Trivia yesterday, and I think one of the prompts was like a news headline that you would see right now, and I wrote like, CDC says masks are useful only during weekdays, but on weekends, mask off. Like it's just on, off, on, off. I don't know what's right anymore. I'm not sure.
Yeah, masks are right.
They're 100% right. Definitely right. You know what else is right, guys? Check out the link at the bottom, socialdistancedrinkingclub.com. I'm going to get the plug in early, but love the show. Check out the link, get a t-shirt. Our logo is pretty sweet. Check it out. It's right there. It's right there. I'm excited for our guest tonight.
Yeah.
I'm stoked. This should be a lot of fun. But gentlemen, you've got some news that we can save for a little bit later. I think we should just get right into it. I want to bring Rebecca on and chat about what's going on. Let's do it. Rebecca, if you're ready, we're ready to bring you in. Ladies and gentlemen, Rebecca from Lovecraft.
Hey.
Hello.
What are you drinking?
I feel I've been sponsored by my rent house tonight. I'm looking up at his sponsorship, and we're making a lot of money on the side for this.
Great. Yeah. They're throwing us some serious coin.
Glass. This is an old school glass.
Is it a Sam Adams glass?
Yeah, it's like I got it at the brewery 20 years ago, probably.
That's an OG Sam Adams Boston Lager glass. I mean, that's probably a collector's item.
It's in my house.
Hey, look, people, you got fans, Rebecca.
Oh, I know. I didn't know. Oh, I miss her. Oh, she was our sunrise hiking buddy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we have good people on our hood.
JJM drinking some Tombstone classic American pills.
Nice.
Awesome stuff. Rebecca, you've got so much to share with us. A lot of people probably don't know where you guys are at because we all seem to have become super lazy, whereas Californians will drive like an hour and a half to move 7 miles. We won't drive 40 minutes to go 45 miles, apparently. I have been there. This is closer to what Adam Green calls Central Phoenix. And
more inside jokes.
well, I mean, it just is. We call it Central Phoenix. We have to teach people the jokes. But tell us a little bit about Lovecraft and how it started and where you guys are at. We'll start with that.
So Lovecraft is, well, we started as an ale house. That was our mission, was to have an ale house that had a little bit of food because we got the location of the kitchen. And it has morphed into a full-blown restaurant. I really didn't want to be a restaurant, but we're a restaurant now. We smoke meats and we put on Mexican-style food, which apparently is extremely popular. So now we're a restaurant with a shit ton of beer. So it's been good. And we're located on 32nd Street and Cactus. We've been there just about a year and a half. So December of 2019 we opened.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you guys have been doing a pretty good job over there. Every time I've gone in, obviously the beer selection is really good. And sometimes it's going there just for the beers, for the drinks. And I've gone in there for food too. And it seems like you guys have hit the best of both worlds, which is not something that a lot of places do. A lot of places have good beer selections. A lot of places have really good food. A few places have both, and you guys seem to have hit that.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we take a lot of pride in both. We have a really good beer manager. Shout out to Karen, who's at work right now. So she does all of our beer buying. She worked with me at my previous restaurant, 32 Shade. If you're familiar with that area, I had that for a long time when I started a couple years ago. And then, yeah, the food is, I'm from New Mexico. So we have outstanding food in New Mexico. And it was really exciting to be able to fuse like smoked meats with New Mexican style cuisine. And it's worked out really well. Our food is phenomenal. I love it. So. Yeah, good.
Can you, I was perusing your guys' website because I haven't had the pleasure of going yet, but it looks like you guys have quite the variety of drink options available. Do you mind kind of sharing with people what you guys have?
As far as beer? So the way we do beer.
Or drinks in general. So I saw a few other things on there.
Yeah, we just got our liquor license about a month and a half ago. So what we've been doing is working with a local vendor who actually comes and actually mixes the craft kegs on site. So it's been really cool. We have like a gin prick. It's a gin, a local gin from Blue Clover, and then we use a local Sun Orchard prickly pear juice. And then they come inside, they mix it all, they pressurize the kegs. We have a couple other ones. We have like an old fashioned that's made with a simple syrup that we make in house. And then, we have a variety of different cocktails. So our cocktail menu has really taken, it's not where it should be right yet because we've been working on all these changes with COVID.
Well, that's new for you as well, right? Because you guys did not have a series license that had a full bar before.
Yeah.
So now you've got a full bar there, which is, if people had been there before and didn't know that, that's a new thing.
We have all the things that people wanted. So all the things that we're really trying to look at the things subjectively from, what we hear that people want. At the beginning, they apparently didn't like eating with plastic silverware and added to-go containers. Now we have real plates. And then people, because we've really morphed into a restaurant. We honestly try to be a beer bar, but the atmosphere, which is kind of like a cool Baroque, modern Victorian feel, just didn't have beer bar written all over it. We were busy during the times that people were drinking beer, late at night. So we were busy during restaurant times. So we've adjusted. We've added actually a lot to the menu.
Well, one of the cool things I saw when perusing the menu that a lot of craft beer people also love is meads, which not a lot of places have mead. And it looks like you guys have Superstition Meadery flights.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, it is. So we and this is we just kind of got pigeonholed with Superstition Meadery from the beginning. They came to us before we opened, and we have a really good relationship with Jim. I don't know if you guys know Jim from Superstition. He's amazing. And so early on, he's just such a hard worker. He wanted to come in. He wanted to do tastings all the time. And then he also plays music. So he'd come in and play for free for like 2 hours after his mead tasting. So it's like the best relationship we could ever have. So, so we have a ton of their meads. And the other thing that we really like, what we do with our beer program is we only buy 1 keg, 1 case, or a couple cases. And once that's gone, we're off to the next thing. So we get to support so many breweries. And these guys who are really pumping out new stuff all the time, we're getting all the new things coming out, and our menu is constantly changing. So with the mead, it's similar. They have I think 130 different meads. They're incredible. They have done. I don't know if people know about Superstition Meadery, which is in Prescott, but they are like the #1 meadery in the world. They've won.
I know, it's nuts, guys. If you don't, I think there are a lot of people who watch the show that may not know a lot about beers, meads, wines, liquors. We found that we were kind of like blending the worlds on the show, which is amazing that we're able to create this space for everybody to get educated on different kinds of beverages. But Superstition Meadery it's in Prescott, guys, and they won an award for having the best mead in the world. That's unreal. Like, I'm pretty sure they went to like didn't they go to like the Nordic Scandinavian region for like a mead competition? They were fighting Vikings to win a gold medal. Okay.
And they won.
Won. A guy from Phoenix showed up and he was like, I got some mead. And they were like, oh, you got mead? Oh, came on. That was it. We won.
So
that was my
you
Viking.
could do worse than being pigeonholed as the Superstition Meadery place. Because that's every time any of us go to Prescott, I know that's a place we stop in all the time and get a flight of Superstition Meadery mead. It's delicious. It's also a nice change of pace, and that's where I think it's cool that you guys have the cocktails now too, because obviously beer, we all like beer here. So we're drinking, but sometimes you want a cocktail, maybe with your meal, or sometimes you want some mead, something that's not beer, and you guys now can hit every single mark that someone wants for their drinking that night.
I want to put through some photos real quick, but let me clear this up.
Beer, by the way, those are beer slushies from Latitude 33. They did not taste as good as they looked. I can tell you that.
I want to look at some of these. So you get this stuff is coming up on your Facebook or your Google page, but I'm looking at some food here. So you got food, you've got drinks.
So that's our Carne Elevada. A ton of craft beer nonstop. So we have 25 taps, and then which rotate all the time, and then we have over 100 canned beers in our case. So
there's some of that Superstition mead action right there.
We have a lot. Yeah, I think right now we don't have a lot because we've been closed down, and we were actually supposed to do another tasting. I think it was a week and a half ago, and music venue with Jim, but I wasn't sure. It was right after Juicy's thing, and I didn't know where we were going to be. This is our little Victorian area. We have a real Victorian antiques. We have a lot of antiques in there. It's a really cool way.
You guys still have the ping pong table, right?
No, so we have gotten rid of that whole area because we had to space all of our tables out.
That's a bummer, right? I won a few ping pong matches on that table.
I mean, you should probably try to find some Victorian era beer pong tables that'll really tie the whole.
I imagine they would weigh a lot. I feel like they'd be made out of some solid piece of wood.
It's funny. I heard a rumor that Henry VIII would play a game of beer pong to decide whether or not to murder his last wife. That was just the thing he was doing constantly. Just
It was actually how he challenged his wives to a duel, and the winner lived. And he was really good.
And for some reason, he would never give them a ping pong ball. So Henry VIII, killing it again. I mean, just saying.
You said like some of the changes you guys have had to make during this time, and obviously a lot of places have had to, but you also have some other changes for the place that I assume were planned before COVID just to improve. Like you've only been open for, you said 2 years, but still looking to make those changes and keep growing and improving as a spot.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really hard balance right now of knowing, what to do. I mean, so you're talking about our second story.
Yeah.
New second story patio that we're putting in. So yeah, it's we've been working on it for a while. We started working on it in November of last year, and then things kind of got delayed. But then COVID happened. But we just actually submitted our building plans Friday, so we should have final plans approved in the next 4 weeks. And then we're kind of just waiting to see what they're going to do. But we should have, the goal is to have it open by October.
I was just about to ask. I wanted to know what I could look forward to, because the goal is also to get rid of COVID by April, but that didn't happen. But I'm just checking. I want to make sure like October sounds more plausible.
Our areas, like we have all those, we have the whole Phoenix Mountain Preserve, and literally no businesses are second story in that area. So we'll be the only second story patio in all of, the Shaverhood was what we call it.
The Shaverhood?
Yeah, #Shaverhood.
Okay, hold on.
I assume that Adam Green calls where your location is South Phoenix.
Chris says hello, nice to meet you, and says 32nd of Cactus. Isn't that Paradise Valley?
No, so I think Paradise Valley ends on like the Tatum and Shaver. But interesting enough, Mr. McBeth, I believe that it was part of Paradise Valley before they put the 51 in, and I think Phoenix bought all the way up to Tatum. That was kind of like their deal, is what I heard a long time ago. I don't know if that's completely true, but I know the freeway used to say Paradise Valley on it. So yeah, before the 51 went in, and that 51 destroyed a whole neighborhood, that whole thoroughway from 32nd Street, from Shea all the way down to Union Hills. It really killed all the businesses over there. So
and like to that point, there's not like, okay, I grew up off of 36th Street in Troy, basically. So I'm from the area, and now that I'm of drinking age, you look for places to go have a beer, have a nice meal or whatever. And there hasn't been a lot in that area. There's, I guess, the Oso off of Tatum and Shea. I think there's another spot that's off of Shea and 32nd Street, not 32 Shea. There's one on the south side that I went to once, and the prices seemed way too expensive, and the service was slow, and we left. Whenever eating there. But then you guys are in, and it's like, this is a type of thing that's not in the area. Lovecraft, with a craft beer bar, with an outstanding food menu. Like, that just wasn't there.
Yeah, you know who? So I'm sure you're familiar with Mickey from King's. He's actually he probably brought craft beer to Phoenix. But he was in the same plaza as 32 Shea at the liquor bar at Sellers. So he's the one who brought really craft beer into this area. And so when he went downtown, and then when we saw this location, I had been wanting to open a beer bar for a long time. So when I saw this location, I knew I was going to be a beer bar. But anyways, so he had craft beer in this area way before it was even popular. I mean, 40 Taps was unheard of, and he had that in a liquor store. It was unheard of at the time.
Christine is asking, was that the old Village Inn building from the 70s?
Yes, Christine is. And just so you know, not Village Inn breakfast, Village Inn pizzeria.
There was a Village Inn pizzeria?
Places before they were breakfast places.
Holy shit. I just aged myself. The last thing I could think of that would be something no one else would know about was Swenson's. If you guys remember Swenson's.
I remember Swenson's.
Oh, dude, we used to get some ice cream at Swenson's. But like Village Inn pizzeria, I just remember Village Inn pie. That's all I had. I was getting Village Inn pie like a few years ago. That was still a thing, right?
It still is now. I've had it a few months ago.
Do they still do Pie Day on March 14th where you can go in and get a pie for $3.14?
I hope so.
Well, like a slice of pie for $3.14, but yes. Or was it free pie? Free pie. I don't remember. I don't know. I have no idea. It's been a while since I've had pie. Otherwise, I would be muy gordo. So I'm just saying. The pie thing.
Mas gordo.
So you're talking about kind of your passion for craft beer. I had a two-part question. What is your favorite style of beer, and what is your favorite beer you currently have on? To say you go through kegs and then churn through stuff.
Well, I'm just going to be honest here. I am not, beer is not my go-to. I'm a vodka on the rocks drinker, and I came from owning a restaurant in my 30s and needing to get drunk immediately and not having time to wait for it to happen. But my favorite style, I mean, I say this, but a hazy IPA. I mean, the juicier, the more pineapple-y, that's my favorite. I mean, back in the day, church music was like the perfect explanation of what that would be locally. We go through so much beer that there is so much I don't even get to try. There's just so much. I don't even know what's on the tap right now, honestly. I have my staff. I wish Karen was here so she could kind of get us through that. But that tap list is rotating like nobody's business. So unless you're there every day pouring those beers, which I'm not, I'm there every day, but I'm not always pouring the beers.
Or you should be there every day drinking those beers as a customer.
Then I would be.
And we see them on TV soon.
Yeah, I try not to drink too much at work because I get out of hand. I'm an out of hand kind of drinker. So I tend to go places elsewhere. And plus now our bar is so small we can't even sit there and drink. Like there's, it's decreased in half, and so there's 8 spots now. So it's not even fun to be at the restaurant, at the bar, because customers should be sitting there having a good time.
Well, and what was it? I lost my train of thought because Chris McBeth just threw this in there. Yes, she said church music, man. It's from the Shop Brewing Company. It's from the Shop. No, you don't have to know what it is. We're here to educate you. The Shop is great local beer. They're on Rio Salado and what is that, Priest?
Roughly.
They're kind of down Hardy, technically.
Yeah.
They're South Phoenix.
Yeah, that's not South. You know what? Stop doing that, guys. They're in Tempe. They're close to ASU. They're not South Phoenix.
Close to ASU.
No idea.
Menu. We've talked about the New Mexican food, but you guys are going to a plant-based menu or plant-based items, or what's going on there?
Yeah, we're not going to plant-based menu fully. What we're going to do is we're making plant-based items that are New Mexican. So recently, I've decided to try to eat a little bit more healthy because I am currently high cholesterol and I'm pre-diabetic. That's why I don't drink beer every day. I've actually not been drinking a lot at all lately. So I started doing some research about what we could do. And, New Mexican food actually lends itself really well to plant-based diet. For people who don't know, plant-based is another word for vegan. It's just a healthier way to look at it. You don't have to be so strict about everything. Everything is non-animal, but maybe the equipment you're using may be around, the same thing that you would use to fry a hamburger. It's not like they're separate things like a lot of vegans would want. But yeah, so we're starting to make. I've made a couple of things, and it's been really interesting. I've done a jackfruit adobada, which is a knockoff of a carne adobada. So that's what I worked on yesterday.
I found a video of that, and I just want to try and quickly show people that because you were working on that. This should be it. If it's not, it's just going to be porn. There it is, right? It's jackfruit.
It looks like a carne adobada. Actually, this jackfruit is super new to me. I've never cooked with it before. I'm not a chef, but I do all of the menu development. And I can't believe how much it really is like the texture of meat. It's mind-blowing.
I love jackfruit. And it's one of those things people don't actually realize is going to have a thick enough texture to taste like meat. I think the first time I had it was at Cornish Pasty. So, hey, free plug, Cornish Pasty. They do a lot of vegan pasties. And I had their vegan Cubano, and instead of ham, they did jackfruit. And it was incredible. And then the Van Buren did jackfruit tacos.
Yeah.
I went to a concert. I got there super early one night, hanging out, and saw jackfruit tacos on the menu while I was drinking a Jack and Coke, actually, which is surprising. and had some jackfruit. So I had a Jack and jackfruit, and it was great.
Jack squared.
Jack squared.
Then you went and played Jack Box, and it was
Jack Maxwell was
Jack in the
there.
Box.
Jack Maxwell was there playing Jackbox.
Jack Maxwell was there playing Jackbox with some jackfruit in his hands, jackfruit tacos, Jack and Coke.
Finish the night doing what?
What?
Jack.
Just saying Jack.
Playing Jackbox. Duh.
That's what we all do at the end of the night.
If you swiped correctly on Tinder, someone's jacking boxes.
Oh, no.
The menu, though, I'm a meat guy, so when I come in, I've had like the mac and cheese, which was really good with, I forget exactly. I think it was the short ribs.
No, we haven't done short ribs yet. It's the smoked.
But I've eaten there and it was good. I'm not the vegan type or the meatless guy, but I'm excited to see what you guys come up with because you talk about the flavors, and the flavors in New Mexican food is really good. So if I can come to
1 second, real quick. Rebecca, is your phone not on silent?
I'm sorry.
Am I getting all your notifications on, hey guys, well, you know what? You have to answer that. You have to tell us what the message says, and then we're going to answer it together on the show. That's it. That's it.
It works. I've been so good. I'm sorry. I don't even know.
No, that's it. We got to look at the message together, Rebecca. It's like being in a college classroom with a shitty teacher, and I'm the shitty teacher.
Let's look at them together. You want to go through this?
No, just the one message.
do we?
Whatever the last one that came in, we're going to respond. We can either that or we respond to it completely sight unseen, not knowing what it says. I want you to respond with, the jackfruit was delicious, the Jackbox was great, and now it's time for me to, and then not send anything else after that. That's it.
Just say the Jackbox was satisfying.
Yes, that's it.
The polishing. This is how good my Karen is. Where are the polishing linens?
Look at that.
We polish all of our glasses.
Well, you have to respond to her with something completely unrelated.
She gets this all the time because I never look at what I'm typing, and I'm always doing the voice thing, and then I just send, and then I'm like, can I just tell her I'm jacking off? Like, why is what is
Where are the polished linens? Respond with something random. It's got to be random. I'll let you guys.
I think you should type in. I think you should go to your
Here,
search.
Go ahead.
Search the gift with Jackbox and just send whatever the first thing is.
Oh, your
First
voice
thing that comes up first.
With Jackbox. Oh, that's all it just said. With Jackbox.
All right, perfect. That's good. I'll take it. We'll respond to random text messages together. It's totally okay.
Well, you know what it is? It's connected to my computer. My phone is, and that's why it's popping up on the computer.
Hey, JJM, thank you. Jonathan Jacob Baggy, thank you for watching. He's been a wonderful fan of the show, and thank you so much for pointing that out. We're trying to highlight as many places that we have all been because so many of us hang out in different regions and different areas of Phoenix and Arizona in general. We've been to new places.
And there's good food, good drinks all over the place. And I was saying earlier, there's not a lot up in my neighborhood, in the neighborhood, but Lovecraft is a gem. Like it's kind of hidden there because even when you're driving by, like you see the sign, but you may not. It's not a place like a part of town you go to for either fine dining or drinks. So it's like, but when you stop in, you're like, oh wow, this is here. This is nice, but you're kind of hidden there in a way.
Yeah, I love that. It doesn't. You don't know. I mean, once we put the patio in, it's going to be obvious what we are. But I kind of like being that little kept secret. It really is nice. And 32 Chip is very much like that too. You know, I don't know if you guys have ever been there, but they're awesome. The people who bought it are awesome. And you walk into that patio, and it's like a little secret garden. You have no idea that's from the outside. It looks so bizarre, but inside it's
We love secret gardens because we had. I'm sure you've been to the breadfruit downtown, right?
The what?
The breadfruit.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, we had Chef Danielle and Dwayne on Tuesday, and like their little back patio is a secret because a lot of people don't realize you can just go crack.
Patio. I think I was there in the winter when I went a few times.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, they have such good food. I love everything. Their drinks are so good. That whole place is super cool. You have to have a lot of cool little nuts like that.
Nope. It's not a sex shop.
And look, it's not a sex shop. Aww.
Wait.
So
It is.
what's here, Bob?
It is hard enough.
Yeah.
There's a Macklemore song that never got released called Sex Shop. That one was not 99 cents.
It was 69 cents.
It was 69 cents and 2 bits. I want to ask a question that I don't really think we touched on directly, but we're pointing out small businesses and small business owners and people who are independent business owners. What spurred the thought to open up Lovecraft? What was it that made you go, "Yep, that's happening," and motivated you to open up Lovecraft?
Well, I had wanted to open a beer bar for a long time, but I just never found a spot. I really thought after I sold my last business that I was done with this business. I needed a break, and I did. I took a year and a half off. I don't know. I was driving by. Literally, I was driving by this building. I had heard it wasn't doing well, like probably 6 months before. I was driving by. We went in there, but I wasn't going to buy a family business, and I was driving by, and there was a lease sign on the building, and so we went inside and just I don't know. I do everything very intuitively, so if I walked in and it felt right. It's a cool building, and it's an area that I know is just in desperate need of something cool, and people want to have a neighborhood spot that is, it's different and it has good beer and food and drinks and all that stuff. And I know that because I was down the street and people wanted that so badly. And finally, Phoenix is coming around to the local thing. Like, this has been amazing, this COVID. I've never seen local support ever like this. I mean, I used to fight with people at my old restaurant about Starbucks every like, this isn't a Starbucks, and they're like, why aren't you just a Starbucks? Like every day was some fight. And now it's like people are just so supportive of the local thing. It's so rad. Love it so much.
I think that's great.
It was just a feeling. I don't know why I do anything radio. It's always some crazy, some crazy emotion some girls having.
Well, Rebecca, before we let you go, I want to thank you for being here with us and being a part of the show today. Thank you for your time. And we're so excited to come visit you. Hopefully, October, like you said, we can all hang out on a patio. The weather's going to be amazing. We can stand and sit and do whatever out there and just drink next to each other. It'll be fun, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Wear a mask and wash your damn hands, everybody, so that we can do that. Please, please, just wear a mask and wash your damn hands. I'm gonna need you to.
Here's to that.
And look at that. Yep, you got fans, Rebecca. You've got fans.
I know. There's a lot of amazing people in our neighborhood. I miss Mary Lou a lot. I'm hiking, Mary Lou. I do Piasco Peak 3 times a week. You should come. That's
a rough hike because I am apparently in biking shape and not hiking shape. I forgot what stepping up was like.
in shape, weren't they?
I don't have stairs at my house. My parents have stairs at theirs, but yeah, that's a lot of.
Yeah, that is a really. It's a ball buster.
Well, Rebecca, you got to tell us before you leave, other than a vodka soda, what your favorite drink is.
Well, it's not a vodka soda, by the way. It's vodka on the rocks. My favorite drink. Favorite drink. You know what it is? It's a Campari Spritz. Brings me back to my travels of Italy.
I will accept it.
It's so good. So yeah.
I will accept it. I am a big fan of Campari and Aperol and a big fan of Negronis, and you can't make a Negroni without Campari. So I will take that. A Campari Spritz is delicious. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here with Rebecca. We still got a little bit of show to go. Rebecca, you're welcome to hang out backstage. We are going to move on with Booze News tonight. Thank you so much for your time. Lovecraft, ladies and gentlemen, check it out. You got it out there. Yeah. They got a bar now, so you got to go. Lovecraft has a full bar and delicious nom-noms.
All right, cheers, you guys. Thank you.
Salud. Man, I'm excited to check them out again because it's been a while since I've been there.
I was last there, I want to say October-ish, maybe. And obviously, like it's good. it's a different than a lot of the beer bars that we go to because it's not a true beer bar. it's a really good restaurant with really good beer selection and now really good drinks too. So it's going to have everything you want, not just to go drink, but just have a night out, And I think that's something that the neighborhood doesn't really have, or it hasn't had up until then. So I'm looking forward to when we can go on that patio, all of us, and just hang out and enjoy all of it.
Yes.
Well, I think even with the patio come October, when it's nice enough to sit outside, if we're still in pandemic mode, it's most people feel more comfortable being outside, and when it's not 11 billion degrees out, that rooftop patio is probably going to be delightful in a way to still kind of have that sense of community and interact with your friends and have some good food and drink.
But that's the thing. Rooftop patios are something I don't think we paid much attention to in Arizona. With all my travels, because you guys know I traveled a lot for work, I was practically on the road every week. Places I went had rooftops. I mean, you got Chicago, you've got rooftops. Even if you're out in LA, you've got rooftops.
Hey, Yusuf, have you been to Arizona for half of the year in the sun?
I was born here, and my blood is designed for this. So 110 is a good time for me to hop on a bike and ride 12 miles. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm good.
Man's got a point.
I'm just saying that rooftops are worthwhile because it's not half of the year, Brett. It's like 3 months, and then the other 9 are gorgeous.
And the view you're going to get from that rooftop too, we like the rooftops because of the view. It's different. It's not just sitting on the ground or whatever. And that's 11 billion is a lot. Chris is correct.
Chris McBeth says 11 billion is a lot.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
No, he's not. He's not.
It's just the thing about Lovecraft, and I always says it's unique, especially for the area, and that's what makes it part of what makes it really nice. And that rooftop, that patio is going to be really great when it's nice out, when it's not 11 billion degrees. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, gentlemen, it's time for
11 billion.
I think it's time for booze news tonight. We've got a couple of stories we want to touch on, right? But I want to start right off the gate. But Adam, it was mine, but I will concede I shall give it to you, sir, because it's hilarious.
Listen, I haven't read it all the way through, but I think the headline itself probably does it justice.
The headline itself does do it justice. I'm going to imagine
it's much better.
Talk about it. This is something I did not expect, but now that I've seen it, man, oh man, am I not surprised. This is something I was not necessarily ready to accept actually happened. But there it is, guys. Teens are dressing up.
I mean, when you're wearing a mask, right? Like we're asking people to wear masks. Some places it's required, it's mandatory. So that covers up at least half your face. And who knows if people are really trying to get in fights with someone saying, oh, you don't look like you're 21-ish, especially if you look old enough. So you got to give credit to the teens who are doing that. I mean, don't drink underage, right? We don't want to promote that. But the ingenuity, it's pretty clever.
I mean, this is a lot different than McLovin, right? Because like that guy was just McLovin. So we're doing some serious work here. I'm guessing that these are like corrupt theater kids, because where I went to high school was like a very nice community full of mostly Mormon theater kids. So that was different. But these are probably theater kids with some expert makeup.
The pictures in the story? There are some pictures. There are pictures of them. I guess it's a TikTok thing. There's pictures of the teens dressed up to look old.
This is what the Chinese were trying to do. TikTok was just supposed to spur our kids to dress like old ladies and buy booze. Got it. I figured it out. No wonder.
At least they're wearing masks.
I mean, this is pixelated enough that this could be a 73-year-old homeless man, but I have no idea. Just saying. There's a lot going on. Oh, my God, there are more. Guys, this is a real thing.
Is Granny on the right twerking?
Granny on the right might have been. She might be wearing Depends just to look like she had a saggy ass. That's what it's like, just for funsies.
What do people do in the quarantine time? That.
Yikes. Take it with a grain of salt. The stories from the New York Post, but I did see it somewhere else. So 2 sources double checked. That actually happened.
Journalism.
That really happened. I've seen a lot of crazy stuff with masks and people dressing up and trying to look funny. But this says the video shows the made-up gal using a walker in a parking lot, clutching a bottle of pink liquid.
Sure.
Let's just assume rosé all day. Wearing a baggy sweater, wire-rimmed glasses, and a babushka scarf. Can't make this up. It says babushka scarf. Bubby, if you're watching, I can't believe these kids are making you feel so bad. I can't.
What?
She's an older.
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like this is bullshit, and that's why they have all the like. They're just trying to make a story out of it.
I mean, maybe. I'm guessing some kid did it for a TikTok to see if it would work, and just expected the worst that would happen was that they would just get carded and they would walk out, but it worked. You know.
I can't wait till it's actually. I'm sure. I can't wait for it to be actually something that's like 25, but that it was some girl that just didn't want to get hit on while at the store buying booze.
2 million views, man. 2 million views. Do you know what 2 million views does for you? It gets you invited to VidCon, I'm pretty sure. Like, that's all.
Well, how many views do we need now? We're at, for this show...
coming up on 250,000. It's all good. I made that number up just now, but 250,000.
I mean, we've got Bubby. We've got Chris McBeth.
Yeah. Rebecca's watching.
We got only 2.
That's wild, man. That's actually happening. People, I honestly think it might actually be happening.
I'm sure it works. I'm sure it's not widespread, but whatever. I mean, I'm pretty sure all of us have had alcohol when we were under 21, and
we had this conversation. We talked about our favorite underage experiences.
We didn't have to dress up like that to do it, but you know, at least they're wearing masks. That's what I care most about. They're wearing masks and being safe.
Beer Bob says buying 3 bottles of wine, so does it really count? Bob, I don't know how long it's been since you've underage bought shit, but the Boone's Farm is not $3 anymore, my guy. It's not. It's not. We're not getting that anymore. That sparkling weird strawberry wine at Circle K, not $2 Chuck anymore. It's like $6 Chuck. The kids are going to be saying $10 Chuck in no time. Tori Spelling had cash seized. Tell me more, Mankey, please. And then Chris McBeth says, in my day, there it is. We just walked into a Circle K and bought booze like a man. Or woman. How dare you? Well, you've got another story for us here, Adam. It is about IPAs.
Yeah, I found this one. Apparently, and again, we wrap this up.
Green freeze.
No, it's this story. Most IPA drinkers share a common personality trait, according to a new study. And of course, a new study doesn't necessarily have to mean like super scientific or anything. But, you know, new study says that we all drink IPAs on this show. Everyone who is on this show tonight drinks IPAs at least. And apparently we have something in common. Just don't ask me what it is.
We're all douchebags.
Not read the story.
No. So if anybody wants to know what they are, it's the openness to experience, right? So increased bitterness perception does not always lead to decreased liking and intake. Rather, it's a positive attribute in some products for consumers. Basically what they're saying is, hey, if you can drink bitter, crazy, wild IPAs, you probably like bitter, crazy, wild foods. And I personally like crazy, wild foods. You, on the other hand, Adam, it took you a while to start liking IPAs, if I remember correctly.
It did. I think I've only really been into IPAs for the last 3 or 4 years of actually liking them. But that's partly my taste changing, and also IPAs as a whole finding new ones. Like you got your hazies now, you got your imperials. Like not all IPAs are piney or bitter like, you know, when I first started drinking them. So, you know, I'm glad I got into them because now I'll drink pretty much anything on a beer menu. That's cool.
Well, so we're saying IPA drinkers might be a little more adventurous, and I actually agree with that to an extent. I know there are a lot of people who don't drink IPAs that are adventurous, and they just know their palates very well. But what do you guys think? Tell us in the comments. I'm curious if you feel like you're super adventurous. I also want to spin this into a quick conversation for a couple of minutes about the craziest things we've eaten, because I think we talked about it once. But Adam Green, what's the craziest thing you've ever tried food-wise?
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I've had sushi, I've had squid, you know, calamari and stuff. There's nothing
crazy. You just referred to sushi and squid and calamari as crazy?
No, I'm trying to think of like the crazy. I don't know even what crazy.
Hey, Brett, let's talk about food, man. I just love food.
I mean, I don't eat. I don't go looking for crazy foods. Like I'm sure I ate a spider when I was sleeping once.
Adam is like this far from me. Like one time I had to like You know what you do when you eat lobster? You like just crack it open, and it's just like you're eating its flesh.
What's a crazy food? Like what are we talking about? What's in that range? Because nothing I've ever eaten I thought was crazy. Some things were unique.
Sea urchin, freshwater eel, frog legs, snails, escargot proper and French. Or
Alligator before. Does that count?
Alligator's fine. Rattlesnake. Like just go across the board. Wolf meat. I don't freaking know. Just I'm trying to get you to give me adventure. Guys, tell us in the comments, A, what the craziest thing you've eaten is, and B, also sushi isn't wild and make fun of Adam Green, please.
Yeah. To answer the question for myself, I think last time I was in Seattle, I was at a Mariners game for work, and some people thought they were going to like really get me by like, hey, try this, because they have some adventurous foods there for a baseball stadium. And I kind of figured what it was, and I tried it, and it tasted like it. It was boiled cricket.
Boiled cricket, fair enough. I think
also, it kind of tasted like what I would have thought a cricket would taste like, which is to say, like they eat grass all day.
Garlic roasted vinegar durian with ghost pepper sauce. Now, here's the thing, Chris. Durian's not that wild. It smells worse than it tastes, and it tastes pretty damn good.
I don't know what it is.
It's a fruit that has the smell of a sweaty gym sock that probably belonged to a very, very, very agile teenager.
That sounds weird.
Yeah.
Hey, Yusuf, can you leave that up for a second? Because like that just looks like Chris played adventurous food Mad Libs.
Marilou says uni. I love uni, Marilou. I may actually have put in a takeout order for my local sushi spot with a little uni in there. Uni is sea, guys, and it is incredible. Sam Fraser says Rocky Mountain oysters, also delicious. I've had them. They're great. I've eaten most parts of everything.
Oh my.
I've had lamb tongue, and it's still to this day one of my favorite things my grandmother would make for us.
Oh, wasn't it? Yeah. We went to the taco place. Tacos Chivas, I think I got like the...
You did the tongue, I think, didn't you?
Yeah, the beef tongue, right? The cow tongue.
Did you do the tongue or did you do the tripe? I can't remember. Lango, you did the tongue.
Yeah, I forget what it's called, but so like,
hey, there he goes, right there. There, Bob just said cow tongue tacos. It's called Lango.
Los Taquitos has that, and it's delicious.
So good. Lango is amazing.
Today.
Lango is amazing. Tripas are amazing, which is tripe. It's incredible. Amy, it's so funny you bring this up. I have not had balut yet, but I talked about balut today, and I need to just get it done. I just got to do it. If you guys don't know what balut is, I'm going to save you the visual at this very moment for the show, since people have beverages in their hand.
Balut, a character in the Jungle Book?
No, that was balut. I hate you. But balut is a fetal duck egg, guys. So you have a little baby duck and an egg, and you crunch.
That sounds horrifying.
I think I saw that on Survivor.
I'm pretty sure they have it at Lily's. I might just, you know what? I'll tell you what. I may do it on the show. That might spur me to actually do it. It's going to be really hard, though. It's going to be really, really hard. Just the fact that I'm looking at something that already has fucking eyes and little feet and shit, just...
You know what's crazy, though? Like, I'll eat bacon. I'll eat steak. Like, I love my meats. And yet the idea of eating something that's like you just said horrifies me. It makes no sense. I understand that. Like, it shouldn't bother you, right?
Let's go back to the foods that make you feel dangerous but also safe. Sushi.
But Eskimo, yeah, his foods that make him feel dangerous and safe. Eskimo, by the way, is ants. It's I haven't done this one yet. I don't know where to do it here, so I can't. But JJM, tell me, man, Mr. Mankey, if there's a place around here that you know that's secretly serving us fire ants or something, because I don't want to get in there.
By the way, Adam Green's non-adventurous food reminded me of a story back in my younger days when I went on a date to like P.F. Chang's with a girl who thought it was very exotic to get their crab wontons, and like I took convincing at P.F. Chang's to have crab wontons, and I'm like, at that moment I was like, this ain't gonna work out.
But like you guys, like Yusuf, I know you've traveled quite a bit. I'm sure that's where you get a lot of these foods. Like, I don't know where I would just go to find food to be adventurous. Like, I'll eat pretty much. I'll go to any restaurant and find something to eat.
Any
But-
sushi restaurant will feed you sea urchin or eel. That's easy.
And like, I'm not a big sushi guy, so like, I'm not going to seek that out. But like,
Okay.
the stuff you guys are talking about, I've just never seen it at a lot of places. Just it's
You,
never,
you,
you know.
you say that, Adam, but I got you to love Sushi Holic real fast.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, that place was decent.
But so, I mean, I will go and try things when they're there. I just don't know where to go to find these crazy foods.
I crush foie gras. My cholesterol level probably went up threefold when I was in Spain a few years ago because they served every single person at a table on a work trip foie gras, and 70% of them couldn't eat it because it was so rich. And I crushed it with my coworker. We finished all of their foie gras. it's just liver pate from a goose. And listen, it's not very humane. I get it, but if a goose got to get fucked for me to eat, I'm saying it right now. If this ruins my political career, it's fine. But it's delicious.
This isn't going to be the thing that does it.
Probably not going to be this.
No, definitely not this.
Jonathan Jacob Maggie says he got the Eskimo in Mexico. That's where I know it's from. I think it was Selma Hayek too that one time came on like Jimmy Kimmel or something and mentioned it. And it's definitely a thing from down there. I got to try it.
That reminds me, the craziest, weirdest thing I ate was this taco I had on the way to Nogales when I was in college. We were going to one of the clubs down there, and I don't know what meat it was. It might have been something crazy. It was delicious. Those tacos are like $1 for 3 of them.
It sounds delicious. $1 for 3 tacos? That's got to be really good meat. I mean, it's available.
I don't know what meat it was, but it was delicious. So that might have been accidentally the craziest, weirdest thing I've eaten.
It's gonna be funny when it turns out that was people.
Chris says, dude, that goose was fat and happy. Yes, it probably was, or it could have been held up against its will and force-fed. But we won't bring that up right now. Hey, yay! All good. Guys, we're coming up on the close of the show, but I think we've got one more story, and boy, I did not read this one before I put it up. So let's read
it together.
It's Business Insider, but we can read it together. This is one that was a blindside last-minute story. An anti-racist beer, hang on, let me turn off this notification, designed to look like a white KKK hood is facing backlash after it was served to a black man in a Connecticut bar. Great. I have nothing to say about this other than showing you guys this headline. That's it. That's all.
Go down to the photo because that's kind of what makes the story.
Do we have a photo? Is it here?
Yeah, it's there. It might be still there. It is.
For the love of God, let their brewery. I don't want this image to have my face anywhere near it. I'm sorry, guys.
I've seen that. Is that Omnipolo?
Hold on a second. Hold on. I need a banner for this to make this like not look okay. There we go. All right, now you guys can see it.
I mean, they're doing anti-racist wrong because this looks like it's anti-one race.
I mean, what's going on here? And why is this beer oppressing me?
That beer is actually just going to a Halloween party dressed as Casper.
Shout out to @spaceman_BMC for who cleared this, bro? I don't know, but whoever did needed to be fired.
For what it's worth, that beer has been around for a while. Like, it's not new to right now. Doesn't mean it's right. I'm not trying to say that, but I think that's Omnipolo, and I've seen them in the stores. And I'm like, that's ridiculous. I'm not going to buy that beer, but okay. Like, clearly in the moment we're in right now, and maybe that's for the best, it comes across differently.
It is. It's Omnipolo. You're right.
Yeah,
it is in Buxton and Omnipolo. And I found another article actually that might make a little bit more sense of this because that one I think was a little bit
it says it was served to someone. Like, if he ordered that beer, someone orders that beer, and that's what they get. Like, that's the beer.
I think if you read the Omnipolo guy responded, and what the text is on the bottle, I think, is what they were trying to get across.
Yeah, and there's a lot in that text, I think. But this might be one we have to revisit, guys, because I did not get a chance to read this one before the show, and I apologize to our viewers that we brought this up without really reading about it, because this is a heavy one to probably talk about. But is it a racist beer? Probably not. Omnipolo already made their statement, and it did say that he was a black man. So I don't actually know who the owner of Omnipolo is. I can't speak to it intelligently.
They make good beers, though. Good dessert.
They do. Hey, we're late in the show. I'm sure we're getting ready to crack open our second beverages, and we're getting ready to wrap up the show as well. But it's a good time to ask everybody what they're drinking. Tell us in the comments. I'm going to go crack something open real quick. But why don't you guys, Adam Grady, you might take it over a little production for a moment, do you?
Oh, thanks, Joel.
Hi, Brett.
I got a hat compliment from Joel.
Yeah, that was nice of him.
Yeah.
I did not grab a second beer, actually. I had the one. It was good. What
I'm
do you think?
halfway through this.
What do you think of beer number 1?
And by beer number 1, you mean beer number 2, or do you mean for the Pure Project?
That one, yes.
It was lovely. Of course, it's a murky, hazy IPA from Pure Project, so I am absolutely going to like it. Very nice. And then taking this to the new Ren release, their West Coast one, which I feel like not a lot of people make like a true West Coast IPA as much anymore, because it's give the people what they want, and they want hazies, but this is very, very crisp, clean, hoppy West Coast style that is still pretty easy to drink.
Very refreshing. And there's, especially this time of year when it's 11 billion degrees out, that's a nice beer to drink.
Yeah, it's bringing me back to my IPA roots before I was so adventurous, if you will.
There you go, Joel. Yeah, that's where I got it, actually. I picked it up at the Balboa Park location a few weeks ago when we were there, and I only got the 1 4-pack, and I've given away half of it now, and I regret that tremendously because it's good.
Well, only getting the 1 4-pack was your mistake.
Yeah. You saw the haul, though. We brought a lot back.
Mario, I all IPAs matter.
Chris, I'm not going to show yours, but I think we're all about to get banned soon. And Justin, you are correct.
What do you mean? What are we getting banned for? What the hell did you guys do while I was gone?
Oh, that's what Justin's got, the new Las Frescas.
Hey, Justin. Thank you for joining, my friend. Rebecca's gone. I was going to invite her back for the end of the show. Cheers, but maybe she hears us. Oh, there she is. There she is. I see her. Hang tight, Rebecca. I'm going to bring you back in a moment. We have an end of the show toast and a post-show hangout for a couple of minutes. Justin, thanks for hanging out. Guys, tell us what you're drinking in the comments. We hit some of this stuff? Did you guys get in there?
We did. I was producing.
Awesome. I appreciate
Be proud of me.
No, I am proud of you. I mean, I'm glad you're learning. And listen, I am happy to sign the bottom of that degree since whatever signature's on there was fucking worthless. It probably was. It really probably was. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. We had Lovecraft on today. If you guys missed the beginning of the show, when the show's over, it'll be available for you to rewatch. You can catch the front end of this and find out more about their new menu. They're full bar, so it's not just beer. Take your friends that are like, me, beer. Also, those friends aren't great. But whatever, I get it. Everyone has their own taste. And we try to introduce everybody to everything. All sorts of beverages. Beer, wine, liquor, coffee, tea. Boba? Maybe that might happen soon. I don't know. I'm working on something. I like boba, guys.
Were those spirit fingers?
Spirit fingers for boba all day, man. You got a problem?
Yusuf, that whole like last 20 seconds thing was very Aziz Ansari from Parks and Rec as Tom Haverford.
Randy. You guys remember when he did that funny people thing with Adam Sandler, right? Yeah, the Randy jokes. No? All right. Well, then if you're going to bring up Aziz Ansari, fucking learn about Aziz Ansari. All right? Jeez.
Aziz, I'm sorry.
Aziz, I'm sorry. You should. You should be sorry. You should be sorry.
Oh, boy.
Guys, take a look at the link at the bottom. This show is over. We have reached the end of our ropes. And by our ropes, I mean these gentlemen are spent. For some reason, on Thursdays, they're incapable of being awake. So here we are, socialdistance.drinkingclub.com. Order a T-shirt. And also, a quick reminder from your friends here at Social Distance Drinking Club. Wear a mask and wash your damn hands, you nasty. Please. Damn, bro, just do it. It's weird. Oh, gross. I don't understand what's going on. It's nasty. Rebecca.
She's on mute.
You're muted. Unmute your microphone. Come back and join us. You got to hit the unmute button. Get in there. There it is. Guys, Rebecca from Lovecraft. We'll want to thank her one more time for joining us.
Dogs are inside now.
It has been amazing having you, and it has been amazing having all of you here on another episode of Social Distance Drinking Club. I see some questions coming in. Guys, we will try to get to those after the show as we wrap this thing up. Right now, it has been a pleasure having you, Rebecca. Thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure having you guys join us on the show. Cheers to you. Rebecca, hang tight. When I end the show, we can all quickly wrap up afterwards in the green room, or as Rebecca called it earlier, guys, the naughty room. This has been another episode of the Social Distance Drinking Club. Thanks for joining. We'll see you on Sunday for the Sunday Day Drink, 1:30.